covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
New at 6, making sure area veterans have a roof over their heads. We show you a new step forward in the local homeless crisis.
And the Centerville Canal has dried up temporarily, causing an overflow of concern. We look at why it's happening.
But first, in New at 6, why it takes a village to tackle large-scale drugs. The Butte Interagency Narcotics Task Force brings local, state, even federal enforcement sometimes together to keep our streets safe.
Well, Action News Now reporter Nathan Espindula is live in Chico. Nathan, I know that you got to get up to speed on some of the problems. What did you learn today as far as ways that people are doing drugs and the impact it's having on safety?
Beyond overdoses, the illegal drug problem in our community brings with it a lot of violence. And that violence comes in many ways, from violence that is directly related to illegal drugs to violence that can happen when drug dealers are confronted by police. Chico Council member, former police chief, and current head of BENF, Mike O'Brien, told me that the Colorado violence surrounding the illegal drug market is one of the differences between this epidemic and others.
It's good to know that we're seeing things work. And I had mentioned early on during this crisis, this was not like the prescription opioid crisis. That was dealing with pharmaceuticals, with doctors, prescriptions, those kind of things.
O'Brien actually told me that the death of the police officer in Marysville is an example of how illegal drugs can cause deaths beyond just overdoses. O'Brien pointed to the fact that the officer who died was killed while serving a warrant related to illegal drugs. Live in Chico, I'm Nathan Espindula for Action News Now.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Now, with regard to the 115 overdose deaths in Butte County last year, 88 were due to methamphetamine, 54 were caused by fentanyl, and the other 20 were from other opioids.
And a quick clarification on what I said off the top there. BINTIF is made up of local law enforcement agencies from all across the county of Butte.
Here's a live look at the Chico Jet Center from the Northgate Aviation live camera. And everyone's out enjoying their aircraft because I don't see a single solitary aircraft there on the tarmac. I wish I could be out flying right now.
Is it a nice day for those of us who just happen to have a plane at Chico Regional, Howie?
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, the skies, for the most part, super clear, and winds on the lighter side for the most part. So I think a beautiful day to get out there if you have an extra airplane, in your garage and go take it for a spin up there. Now here's a look at our radar. Remember how active we were in the Sierra yesterday. Thunderstorms really from as far north and south as you go on the radar. As high pressure is moving closer, kind of capping and lidding the atmosphere. Storms trying to fire up a little bit, but they're just not getting it done. Just a few pop-up light showers. Other than that, just dry across the board. Temperatures a little cooler than we've seen, but still above average, close to 80 in the valley. Weaverville up there at 76. Altura struggling today, didn't make it up to 60. And as I talked about the winds a moment ago, for the most part, on the light side, where these winds will pick up, but the temperatures will as well. We'll talk all about that coming up soon, Alan.
Thanks, Howie.
Happening now, a meeting between PG&E and neighbors surrounding the Centerville Canal, which currently is pretty much dried up, no water running through it. PG&E oversees that canal, and on March 31st, it emptied it for annual maintenance. But neighbors say they didn't receive any notice. PG&E is hosting the meeting to address their concerns and to reassure people that water will start flowing on May 18th. However, some worry it may take longer than that.
The fact that when they did finally turn it on, it took a couple of months to finally reach all the residents. It's not like they flipped a switch and it was here the next day. It literally took a solid 6.5, almost 8 weeks.
PG&E will clarify to neighbors tonight that the utility really doesn't have an obligation to keep that canal filled constantly, even though many of the neighbors rely on the water for irrigation and drinking. The meeting's happening now at the Magalia Community Center located at South Park Drive.
The chairman of the Tehama County Board of Supervisors, Matt Hansen, has uninvited Vice Chair Patty Nolan from agenda review meetings, accusing her of unlawfully leaking information to the public. Action News Now reporter Sade Poulin breaks down what's going on.
Patty Nolan tells me that she woke up on Sunday morning to an email saying that she's no longer allowed to participate in agenda reviews. The agenda review items are used to help organize agenda items before board meetings. The email came from Chairman Matt Hansen, who claims that Nolan tried to obtain confidential information, then leak it to the public. He did not say specifically what information. When I asked her about it, this is what she said.
They haven't really cited anything except some claims that I did something illegal, which they've not told me what I did that was illegal. They've cited no code, standard, law, or ordinance that I violated. It's an open meeting. Agenda review is an open meeting. It's not closed session.
Despite being barred from the agenda review by Matt Hansen, Tehama County Chief Administrator Gabriel Heydrich did meet with Nolan for a review meeting this past Monday.
She hasn't been barred. I meet with her. I'll meet with any supervisor, and the supervisors are welcome to meet and contact and reach out to county department heads and ask questions, gather more information and whatnot as they see fit for any agenda item.
Nolan says that she believes this is a case of hurt feelings. In the email, Hansen also said that he wanted Patty Nolan to be replaced by Supervisor Tom Walker for the review meetings. But she says she will continue to go to the meetings, making it 3 supervisors if Tom Walker participates.
When they bring in that third supervisor that they suggested, then you're starting to share information with 3 supervisors, not 2. And that's the rule, 2, especially on things you're going to vote on. So that's where it changes the rules.
I reached out to Matt Hansen for comment and not have heard back yet. Reporting in Red Bluff, I'm Sade Pullen with Action News Now.
So again, Nolan tells Action News Now that she has done nothing wrong.
Take a look at this. You can see some damage there on the overpass after a semi-truck hauling an excavator clipped it on Highway 99 in Chico around 9:30 this morning. It happened in the northbound lanes at East 20th Street. The CHP closed the right lane for fewer than 5 minutes just to pick up some debris. Chico police say the overpass is still safe to drive across, but they have closed the far left eastbound lane on East 20th Street. Caltrans says bridge engineers are working on an emergency order to make some repairs. They don't know when they're going to have that East 20th Street lane back open, but you are asked to avoid that area for now if you can. In Butte, Tehama, and Glenn counties, there are an estimated 100 beekeepers.
But there's one who has a special role in keeping beehives from being stolen. Rowdy Freeman owns Pure Honey Company, and it's home to 1,200 colonies of bees, which pollinate 1/3 of our food. But Freeman is also a sheriff deputy in Butte County, and because of his beekeeping knowledge, he acts as a liaison with law enforcement and the beekeeping community all around the state. He assists beekeepers from being what they say is being ripped off.
I think a lot of it has to do with all the education that we've been doing around the state and in the communities and the Beekeepers Association. A lot easier for them.
Freeman's efforts seem to be working. In 2024, 3,600 hives were stolen statewide. This year, just 350 have been stolen. New at 6, helping those who served in the front lines, and how Shasta County plans to help homeless veterans.
Plus, another group of people who risk it all, these ones to make sure your drive is safe when we come back.